breathe in, you breathe out, eat, shit, sleep. You take whatever they give you, and you give nothing in return.
So I had a guy on from the Socialist Equality Party, the World Socialist website, and he said this.
And our opposition to Biden is from the left.
Yes.
We're not joining in, with the extreme right. We did not jump on the bandwagon and say it's the horror of horrors that Trump's Twitter account was taken away.
So again, another short-sighted lefty who doesn't understand how censorship works. The censorship, how it starts when you're happy about it, it never ends up that way. It always ends up you're unhappy. The first time they censor, you're happy. The second time, you're unhappy. And we just showed you that they just started taking down socialist websites. They just started taking down socialist websites, and he's cheering it on. So which website did they take down? They took down his. Just a few days after that interview, and he was cheering on Donald Trump and his political opponents being censored on social media. His website got taken down, and he was personally at Facebook. So there it is. WSW at the World Socialist Website.org. Your account has been disabled. Okay, on Friday, Facebook carried out a purge of left-wing anti-war and progressive pages and accounts, including leading members of the Socialist Equality Party.
I know when the Stones were on tour, they were very much doing an exercise routine, and a lot of energy they were putting into just like maintaining their health. Are you doing anything like that?
Oh yeah, I believe the body's a sacred temple, and you've got to be really careful what you put in it. I do the show, isn't that enough? I drink Gatorade.
Emergency braking systems can save lives. Many new cars are equipped with sensors that can detect a pedestrian and stop automatically if the driver doesn't. But new research finds it's not reliable.
How well do these systems work in real-world situations, like crossing the street?
We found that in many situations the vehicles struggled.
Greg Brannon is with AAA, which tested 4 mid-size sedans. In one scenario, a child darts out from behind 2 cars. 90% of the time, the technology failed to stop a vehicle traveling 20 miles per hour. Every time a car turned a corner, it hit the pedestrian. And when a sedan traveling 20 miles an hour encountered 2 adults, it hit them 80% of the time. The results were even worse in the dark.
The biggest thing that we uncovered is the fact that most of these systems do not work at night. And if you look at the situations where pedestrians are most vulnerable, it's at night.
Automakers have agreed to put auto braking technology in almost all new cars by 2022. Experts hope it will be much better by then. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
This was Lake Michigan yesterday, Chicago. Look at that. Wow, it's been fun, Chicago, but you're Canada now. I don't know how else to tell you.
How did you react to the news when you heard Canada's becoming a 51st state?
Surprised, honestly. I was a little surprised by it. I didn't know they wanted to be part of it, but they want to become part of the United States. If they're willing to help us out, we can help them. I don't see what the problem is.
What was your reaction to first hearing that Canada is becoming the 51st state?
I was actually shocked. I mean, from all the countries they could choose from, they went with Canada.
What does Canada have to benefit now that they're going to be a 51st state?
Our freedoms. And
One other thing about America.
our guns.
Welcome, Canada, to the United States.
Welcome, Canada. We love all you guys.
Canada, welcome to the United States. I thought you was a state all along. Sorry.
Welcome, Canada, and let's make Canada great again.
When it comes to the COVID vaccine, it's better latte than natte. Introducing the new Starbucks Vaccicino, blending the coffee you love with the cutting-edge medicine you need to stay alive. 1 shot of espresso, 2 shots of Pfizer, 3 squirts of pumpkin spice, a load of Java chips, and a blast of Clorox bleach. Ask your barista if Starbucks Vaccicino is right for you. Side effects may include dizziness, nausea, diarrhea, explosive diarrhea, short-term memory loss, long-term hair loss, malaria, measles, and lumpy nuts. The new Starbucks Vaccicino.
Quite frankly, that is nonsense.
We put this together for people like her who needed that extra protection.
So what I'm wearing right now is a 360-degree protective shield. This is the top exit air vent. These reversible gloves, these are 2 little openings on the side, so if anything kind of itches, you could put your fingers through the reversible glove and scratch your nose, put on your glasses, adjust your hair.
Got all cut up, got all wet and dirty. I hope you're happy with yourself. She went over here on one of our fellow brothers' homesteads. He has some really nice grass over here, as you can tell. A really nice pasture. You see all these cows over here. Oh, they're hanging out. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Elsa was missing here for about a week and we didn't know where she was, and she finally popped up on the radar. We didn't stop looking for you. And now they're all back together again. One happy family. They're sniffing her up and down. Say welcome back.
But something altogether different and altogether amazing, a bombardment of music, words, and images tell a story of violence and drug addiction in the world of a musician. Nobody knows him, and in this scene, deep in his tortured hallucinations, he imagines himself as an absolute dictator. Made one of the most horrifying musicals of all time. But the movie is effective, the music is strong and true, the images are like sledgehammers, and for once, the rock and roll hero isn't just a spoiled narcissist, but a real suffering image of all the despair of this nuclear age. This is a real good movie.
I liked it an awful lot, too. I liked that scene that we just showed very much. At the same time, you know how they have these records that now they make video for them and they play them on all the late-night rock shows, and you see that? This movie struck me when I didn't care for it, is just one long version of those, you know, running almost 2 hours. The images got so repetitive that for me the film sort of broke down. But at the same time, that central image will stay with me for an awful long time.
I'll defend the repetitive images. I think that maybe what they're doing here in this movie is trying to make a movie in a musical form, and one of the things you have in a long piece of music is a theme that's introduced and repeated, and there are variations on it. I think that's what they're doing here. I think it's a real inventive film trying to do something different.
Well, that's not a bad explanation. I liked it, just not as much as you did.
Take a look at this terrifying moment on a snowy slope. A skier chased by a brown bear. Witnesses shocked, some trying to distract it by screaming and whistling. The man is chased and eventually throws his backpack to the ground. Authorities say that move probably saved his life because it distracted the charging bear long enough for him to escape.
When in trouble, when in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout.
This has been a 2021 Arctic Terrier production.